What's up, everybody? Tom Pelissero here with Phil Mackey shortly after the Twins complete another series sweep with a 3-2 win over the Chicago White Sox. Phil, let's just spin this forward immediately. The Twins now depart from the 6-3 homestand, go out east, and it starts at Yankee Stadium.
It sounds like a huge series on paper, just because the Twins have not been able to beat the Yankees at all regular season, postseason, and they're terrible at Yankee Stadium. But again, let's put it into perspective here. We're not even into June yet, and if the Twins do get swept, it's not a huge deal. Yes, it's a nice litmus test early in the season against one of the most potent lineups in all of baseball, but it's a big series, but let's put it into perspective. It's not like the Twins have to take 2 out of 3 for this to be a success going forward this summer.
Now, at the same time, do you buy into the fact that if you perform well in a series like this through the regular season, and each time you see the Yankees through the regular season, that would carry over should the teams be knocked over?
I think there's a mental barrier right now with the Twins, whether they admit it or not. Ron Gardenhire was asked about that this morning during his press conference, saying, the Yankees have beaten you down the last couple of years, and he said, well, wait a second, 7 or 8 of those games the last 2 years could have gone either way, but my point is the good teams find a way to win games in those high-leverage, late-inning situations. So there is a mental hurdle, but again, if the Twins lose 2 out of 3 or get swept, it's not like it's a catastrophe and the season's over.
The Twins make a roster move that I think we saw coming from a mile away. Jose Mijares ends up coming back off the DL, which is mildly surprising based on how he performed down to Rochester. But Wilson Ramos being sent back, especially when you consider that he was 1 for 18 after his torrid start, not really a surprise.
Yeah, the 7 hits in the first 2 games were a great story, but I think Ramos showed by going 1 for 18 after that stretch, not drawing a single walk in the 2 weeks he was up with the big league squad. He still needs some seasoning at AAA, so hopefully he goes down there, takes it seriously, because it seemed like I don't want to say slacking off early on, but what was he hitting, like $175 at AAA to start the season? So go down there, put in your work. He is the catcher for the future for somebody, maybe not the Twins, but he does have some work to do at AAA. And with Mijares, he got rocked twice in his rehab stint, but Gardenhire said Mijares was just throwing the ball over the middle of the plate, trying to get that elbow right. So hopefully that's the case, because if he has to pitch against the Yankees and he's throwing the ball over the middle of the plate too much, look out.
Some of the best news for the bullpen is just the fact that the starting pitching, by and large, is very solid for the Twins. Carl Pavano comes out 4 starts in a row now. He's been very good and at least given them a chance to win. Blackburn has rebounded with a couple of strong starts since he came back from his family emergency. Liriano has been what he is, through this portion of the season. And Baker, while he's had some rocky points early on in the season, has been relatively strong of late. Really, the only guy you can point to and say that there's an issue is Kevin Slowey, who I think it's 5 of his last 6 starts, has thrown almost 100 pitches and can't get through 6 innings.
Yeah, Slowey's really the only pitcher, at least the last 3 weeks, who hasn't gone deep into ball games. The starting pitchers are consistently going 6, 7, 8, and even in some cases 9 innings with Blackburn about a week and a half ago. So, the big picture says that this pitching rotation is a lot better now than we probably thought it would be going into the season, with Liriano pitching so well and Pavano pitching so well. But it's not time to hit the panic button on Slowey yet. Give him another few weeks, and I'm sure once Slowey heats up, one of the other guys might cool down. But big picture, overall, the starting staff has been wonderful so far this season.
And another key thing there, the fact that they don't really have a guy who's stretched out into that long reliever who you're going to throw out there for 3 innings consistently, although Alex Burnett did do pretty well with that yesterday.
Yeah, and there's a chance they could call somebody up at some point to be that middle guy.
And you'd think Manship is probably the first guy that they would go to. He's Phil. I'm Tom. See ya.